Okay, this video is about targeted individuals and gang stalking. There's been some recent political advancements regarding these sorts of attacks that are organized by government agencies and referred to as torture programs. Um, a couple of things that I'm experiencing right now. I just want to draw some attention to my environment and the fact that there's possessed people everywhere that I go. And every possessed person has a surveillance team. So right now, like I told you before in one of the other videos, I've kind of crossed into someone else's territory, which puts me on their radar. So I'm experiencing some racing, like a racing feeling, um, knowing that the people in the area will be able to hear me and hear what I'm discussing, the matters that I'm talking about. That always sends them into a little bit of a panic because the imposters, the possessed, are always under a different impression. Um, Real quick, I want to read to you what it says. This is a video that I've been trying to get to. I made the original video on the 21st of August. Yesterday, the 25th, I made a lot of attempts to upload it. And even right now, I'm experiencing some issues with the internet. So I attempted to pull up over here their website so that I could read to you a bit from their description, you know, and the things that they are and are not recognizing. But it will not run. Chrome nor Explorer is working right now, which means that I'll also likely have an issue with upload. But I'm going to draw some awareness to that too. Anyhow, let me read to you what it says. This is their description. A targeted individual is someone that has been selected by the deep state, usually FBI or CIA, to unwillingly participate in a government experimental torture program. This program is designed to break down the individual and neutralize the person, usually using psychological and physical and emotional stress. The ultimate goal of this program is to control the entire global population. The ultimate goal of this program is to control the entire global population. Now, these people, these targeted individuals, let me finish. Political activists, labor unions, and whistleblowers are some of the main targets. Family and spousal relationships are usually destroyed as part of this torture. Okay, all those things are true. Um, although they recognize these sort of attacks as an attempt to control the global population, they will not regard how that's being done. They won't regard how that's being done. This is a spiritual battle, and it always has been. Satan's key to everlasting life is demon possession, and it's nothing like they depicted. It's nothing like they depicted. So it's not going to be a lot of yelling and screaming and, you know, convulging and things of that nature. It's nothing like that. It's more like LGBT. And as you know, these things walk amongst you freely. A woman that identifies with a man and a man that identifies with being a woman. They work with you. They sleep with you. They mingle amongst you. That is the devil. That's demon possession. So, when it does not have a different sexual orientation, meaning that it's not a man posing as a woman. So I'm a female, obviously. If a man were in my flesh, I have a bit more masculine mentality. But what if it were not a man that got into me? You never know. It'd just be another female, but it'd be a demonic female. So, certain things about my nature and my way of carrying myself would change. I'd probably become a bit more provocative, a, a lot more eager to engage with men. So those are the type of things that take place. But because nothing else changes, because I still look like myself, I still sound like myself, walk like, talk like myself, know what the changes, the changes would be really subtle. People would notice them. People that know you always notice. They'd be like, that's not like her. Suddenly she started doing this. And I've never really known her to be that way. But they never have any way of knowing because it's a female and not a man. So demon possession is a real big thing, and that's the biggest part of this fight. That's the biggest part of this fight. Like, the technology that these agencies have separate people from the spirit. They are able to separate people from the spirit. And one of the things that it's safe to say all targeted individuals have in common is that they recognize that they've been chipped. They recognize that they've been chipped. Now, being that they're going into, for lack of a better term, being that they're going into or entering into this legal situation, I'm pretty sure they're going to try to get them to stay away from that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll try to get away. I think legally, when that matter is brought up, they'll try to get them away from trying to have that recognized. And there's always a receiver. There is always a receiver, and these chips are being implanted at birth. These chips are being implanted at birth, and they support eugenics. So, yeah, the tools, the chip is a tool for a lot of things, but the main three is demon possession, augmenting, which means, that falls into that eugenics category, with being able to remove and add cells on a molecular level, like really, really small. That helps you shape and augment human beings. Same goes for brain cells. The mind has always been the attack, especially when it comes to Africans. The attack has always been on our minds. And mind control would be the third one. The chips are also how they kind of guide people into living the lifestyles that they want them to. They can control your attractions with it. They can influence your decisions with it. A lot of time, as I go into this in more detail, you'll see how it's been very, very upfront in everyone's lives. You'll be able to recognize how it's been very upfront in everyone's lives. Recently this 501 company, nonprofit organization, was established to pursue these sort of attacks legally. So They've created an organization that will legally respond to targeted individuals and gang stalking. The first problem with that is that it's a 501 company. It's a nonprofit organization. That's the first problem with it. And they have a bit of a demonic tone to be dealing with people who have been tortured. You know, one of the first things they establish is that legal fees aren't, lawyer fees aren't free. A mockery. Once again, I've told you who I am. I am Christ's mother. And that's my title. That title is, can, and will be proven by DNA. However, my official position comes with justice. My official position only comes with justice. Their problem with me, it's a mockery. They told me that they were going to be doing the things that I intended to do. So as I visualized how I was going to pursue this matter, and I, saw myself drawing a crowd and having everyone pass out flyers and draw awareness that way, those were things that I obviously could not get done here in Akron because of demon possession. Once these people find out who I am, they realize that I am a threat to their existence, and they no longer want to have anything to do with me. They absolutely separate from me. So now you see demonic gatherings like this that's going to take place in Washington. And I don't want to take away anything from people this has actually happened to, because it's the worst thing that could ever happen to a person. However, there's a lot of possessed people that identify with being targeted individuals. Those that are in violation are now, as the possessed always do, trying to get a check. So, anyhow, it's a mockery. And they told me that they were going to pay these people pretty much so much. They told me that they were going to pay these people so much money that they weren't going to care what took place to them. That they weren't going to care what took place with them. This video, I'm getting to it. I'm 13 minutes in already. It's a 10-minute video. Their problem with me is not that I'm informing created races that they are not able to be judged. Reincarnation and incarnation are concepts that have been out there for a very long time, and in most cases is widely accepted by religious groups. In most cases is widely accepted by religious groups. So these people know that they aren't able to be judged. There is no heaven for created races. This is why in the Devil's Book they tell you that you were created out of sin. But that's not their primary problem with me. Their primary problem with me is that I am exposing eugenics, DNA theft. And as they've stolen a lot of DNA from me and my family, they don't want this information to get out. The problem with me is that I'm exposing eugenics, the way that they are creating new races and sustaining new races. None of those things can be done without African DNA. And I think I'll wait. I'll play this video real quick. Okay, this is a video that I made on the 21st. It's the 25th now. I've been having some issues with storage on my phone. Of the two phones that I have, the one that I'm recording with right now, it does not read the SD cards that I have. This is the only phone that reads the SD cards, but all the storage is locked up. That means that I can't move files, and it means I can't free up space. So when it comes to putting something on an SD card, I'm unable to do that. This video is about targeted individuals and gangstalking. It was 3:30 roughly when they woke me, and they woke me to talk about targeted individuals. They were talking about how these people are going to be solved, and then they were talking about pretty much why they've been attacking me in the manner that they have. They're trying to keep a lot of the information regarding what they've done from getting out, and they want the targeted individual movement to take place before my information is released. So essentially, they're trying to keep me from completing any task so that this other entity can flourish for a short time until I get this information out. They were talking about how I was going to be so happy in this other place because I'm not going to have to hear them. They're not going to be able to talk to me. The problem is DNA. They do not want to reallocate DNA. This is going to be the push. This is going to be the force once my information gets out. They're talking about the people in the area, those that I've come across, especially a few specific people. They've been trying to make demands that I take them with them because they know that it's going to probably be complete chaos and aggregate. Real quick, I have to note certain things as they come because if I don't, they'll erase it or remove it by the time I wait till this video to end. Keep in mind, a lot of these lawyers that are in place and representing these people are ignoring certain matters and trying to only get them to focus on particular subjects because they know that agencies like the CIA are in place to protect eugenics. They know that they are not able to look the way that they are. They are not able to think the way that they're able to think without African DNA. So eugenics is not only in their best interest, but there's a combined interest in protecting it. They have a couple of people, that know who I am. I've told them that I'm crisis mother, and they seem to think that now, once this targeted information gets out, that these people will be able to resurface. Absolutely not. I will not ever tolerate anything like that. I'll absolutely reject it. This DNA thing, they are really, really, really trying to get off the DNA. And it's not, it's my DNA that they want, but it's not just my DNA, it's my family's DNA. So you gotta think about all the relatives that they've killed. That's the sort of DNA. Those Real quick, something else as far as DNA goes. Um, Not that anyone's paying attention right now, but I keep a end of month roll up where I annotate changes that I may notice in certain things as far as my senses go. Lately, they've been attacking my vision again, and I occasionally experience some blur, but as far as sight, they've reduced. They've taken out more cells associated with sight to weaken the eye and how far I can see. Um, Everything when you think about someone with my DNA, everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. Perfect sight, perfect smell, perfect taste, perfect touch, like everything is perfect. Glasses. This is a demonic attack. This is not a problem that I have. Corrective lens. I'm wearing corrective lenses because of the DNA that's been stolen from me. I'm wearing a partial because of the demonic attack that's been placed on me, like radiation. They are breaking people's teeth out with radiation. They ensure that I can't smell every day because it raises my vibrations. When I get a whiff of my perfume, when I get a whiff of my soap, when I get a whiff of the outside air, it raises my vibrations. These are things that they don't want me to experience. Taste. Everything.
They've been arguing about this for months. They don't see why they would have to give that back. They don't see why they would have to give that back. I'm taking everything.
I said that they've been arguing about my family's DNA that they killed for months.
This revolution, it's been a long time coming. They've also been talking about how I'm not going to accept these people creating races. I'm sharing a lot of truth. Not sharing. I'm informing you of a lot of truth regarding created races. When they look at this group of targeted individuals, they kind of saw them. They've been referring to them as God's children. That's a lie. They've given them an identity that they can't ever take on. So I think I said that. They're giving them a... Okay, I want to clarify God's children, because this is something that I discussed with the Divine Disclosure Part 1. If
people were going
wanting
to
to know. One of the things that's coming out regarding this situation is the things that are possible with remote neural monitoring. And with remote neural monitoring, not only are you able to access the thoughts of others, but you're also able to access imagery. So those things that we imagine, I'm one of those people, I go there in the mind before I go there physically. So I pre-plan in the mind before I execute. So visuals, all those things, they get a read on that, they're able to see all of that. And yeah, if you look at some of my older videos, I was referring to this group of individuals, these targeted individuals, as a unpurposeful group, because there's no way that the things that they've been doing to me could ever take place with people and they not gather and act. And as you'll see in some of my videos from the encounters that I've had with targeted individuals, when I tell them about me acting, they're never eager to join forces. They never want to fight. They actually believe that they're part of a program that somehow they actually believe that they're part of a program that's going to somehow benefit them. The bottom line is there's no way that you can experience these sort of attacks and not be absolutely livid. Like there's no amount of money that could ever justify it. So in terms of a settlement, like that's not the answer. Like the only result would be shutting down these entities. That's a revolution. So yeah, these are the things that I have to argue about on a daily basis with the CIA. Something else is they went much further with me than they did with these other people, those that I identified as targeted individuals who were victims of gang stalking. So my story has some elements, these people may not have experienced. And I think that's it for now. I think you get the gist. Okay, this is a video that I made on the 21st.
No.
Had already completed the first part, but they're just kind of having hung up right here. Should be done. It's only a 10-minute video. And see, that's what they're doing.
You can't really see them. And then they'll refresh it themselves. It's unauthorized remote access. Like they just control the phone.
Fucking saying, this is my third attempt. And they had an issue where pretty much what I was putting in the description box. So they erased most of it from my memory. I had to generate something else. And I pretty much got similar content, but it's not arranged the same way that it was. What I did was I copied and pasted this time in case this happened again.
I'm trying to think. I want to say that sums it up for now, but I'm not sure that I touched on everything that I intended to, because as I told you before, when I have thoughts, they're like in order. I'm going to touch on these 3 topics, and they'll scramble on. So I'll hit them in reverse, and then sometimes that causes me to leave out a portion of the information that I meant to say regarding the other, and I'll introduce it later on when I'm not on that topic. And I hate doing stuff like that because a lot of people have a hard enough time as it is following conversation. They have a hard enough time as it is following conversation. So I try to make things as cut and dry and very simple and easy to follow as possible. That's part of the reason why I'm putting so much time into my outline. It's pretty much, I'm not just creating an outline, I'm creating a script, you know, so that I don't miss or leave anything out in part 1, because part 2 through 6 or 7 is all, you know, me going through and experiencing these things. And part 1 is very informative. I get the opportunity to teach a lot. I wonder if this video is going to upload. I wonder if this video is going to upload.